Hello Salem High and welcome to another episode of SHS Today. I'm Brooke Johnson and joining me at the news desk is Gianna Vittorioso. Gianna?
Thank you, Brooke. The past few weeks have been very eventful for Salem High students. Between scheduling, finals, and the opening of new spaces, there is a lot going on. We here at SBD TV hope everyone had a very long, deserved weekend.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day is a very important holiday honoring an important historical figure, influential in the fight for equal rights. Christy and Tara talked to students about the holiday in their segment. Let's take a look.
Long deserved.
Is a civil rights leader in American history, most well known for his actions in the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s.
On Monday, we do not have school, as it is Martin Luther King Day. Martin Luther King was a civil rights protester who protested the rights of blacks. He believes that blacks should not be segregated from whites, and he changed the South as we know it today. We decided to interview people and see their views on Martin Luther King, as well as a teacher who will talk about the history of Martin Luther King. Let's take a look.
I'd have to say bravery.
The I Have a Dream speech.
Civil rights movement.
When I think of Martin Luther King, the first thing I think of is the civil rights movement and how he, fought really hard for, African American equal rights in the 1960s.
The first thing that comes to mind when I think of MLK is his I Have a Dream speech that he issued in the 1960s, talking about his vision for America after the civil rights movement.
I think he's shown everyone to fight for what you believe in, no matter what the repercussion is or consequence or anything that could be either beneficial or not towards your life. If you believe it's something to fight for, then to fight for it.
Well, I'm allowed to go to school with white students, and I have more rights than when he his time.
I can be friends with white people.
I think he's affected my life in that, he's basically an inspiration to all of us that, if we have something good we believe in, that if we really fight for it and really try our hardest, that we can really succeed and bring good things in the future.
He affects American lives today because, obviously he affects your life because we study him in class, but we remember him every single year with Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Just the impact that he had without violence, without the use of physical force, which when we want to accomplish things, that's not the first thing that comes to mind. We often think of physical violence as a means to what we want, but he was able to do things a different way.
I think we should, because it gives us time to think about all the struggles and the pain he had to go through in order to make his dream become a reality.
Yes, I do think we should have a day off because he did so much for the whole community, let alone black society.
Yeah, because nobody wants to go to school.
Yes, I do, because I think we should honor his legacy and, all the things he fought for, and, it just is very good to honor someone on having a day that, you don't go to work or don't go to school, that kind of way.
I do think we should have a day off. It's important to recognize the people in American history who have made the greatest impact, not just for one group of people. We think Martin Luther King Jr., of course, we think his role, his impact on African Americans, but really he impacted the entire country throughout the course of the civil rights movement. And it's good to remember that and to recognize him with a day off, I think is a great sign of respect for him and what he did. I think he's a great role model. He is somebody who overcame challenges. He persevered through education. He became a good public speaker, and he was able to share ideas with other people, again, without physical confrontation, which anytime you can do that makes you a good role model to me.
We also decided to look at what students decided to do on the day of Martin Luther King.
Like I said, think about it and kind of put myself into his shoes and try to think about what I would have done if I was him.
Probably play basketball, to be honest, and do homework and stuff like that.
Chill.
I'm not entirely sure. I think I'm going to study for finals because I have that next week, and I don't know, I might see my friends. I don't know what they're up to, but we'll see.
Martin Luther King will continue to be a very influential person on civil rights. That's all for today, Salem High. Have a great day.
That was definitely informative. I hope those of you watching spent your holidays in remembrance. This is certainly an important holiday, as Martin Luther King Jr. was a figure to look to during the fight for equal rights and still is for many.
Coming back to school after a 4-day weekend is difficult, especially having to deal with finals, scheduling, and everything else going on. Understandably, plenty of students are overwhelmed. Brendan and Sean of our SBD TV team have solutions for those of you feeling a bit stressed.
With finals fast approaching here at Salem High School, we decided to talk to some faculty to see what strategies they have with coping with stress.
In order to prepare for finals best, we typically hear that students who spread out their studying feel a little bit more comfortable and more prepared. And instead of staying up all night and missing sleep and cramming overnight for one exam, spreading out your studying is a good idea.
I would say just take it one day at a time. Look at all the information you need to learn or know, and just create some sort of organizational timetable for you to go over the information.
I also think it's a good idea for students to be sure that they come in prepared, including having eaten breakfast. You want to make sure that you've had a good meal before you come in so that you're ready and you're focused and you have the energy that you need to get through the test too.
Get a good night's sleep though. Your routine should definitely change up a little bit. Maybe sleep and try and relax a little bit and not stress so much. So
I do believe that sleeping well before exams is good. You want to make sure that you're coming into your exams with a full night of rest so that your brain is ready, your body is ready, and you're able to focus on the task at hand. So it's definitely important to get a good night's sleep before your test.
if you've been following along and staying organized and staying up with your homework and staying up with the coursework, a final or a midterm is it's just quizzing you on knowledge you should already have if you've been doing the work. So it shouldn't be anything to stress about.
My best recommendation is to not worry. The final exams are not your full grade. There's all kinds of work that's been going on all semester or all quarter that leads into your grade, so not to put too much pressure on yourself.
It's not the end of the world either, just you need to focus on what you have to do. It's going to be over.
After talking to some of the faculty, we decided to talk to some of the students to see how they cope with stress during finals.
How do I cope with finals? Well, I got this neat gadget. You can pick it up at Best Buy, 1995. It has like a bunch of little things you can play with on it, like, kill some stress, and, you just kind of play around with it, and you're good.
Well, when I'm studying, I like to listen to a lot of different types of music, especially ones that are like faster and just get me into the mood of action and all that, like fight songs and all that.
I don't really have any strategies. I just keep a calm, cool head, and I just roll into the finals, take it, and I do the best I can do.
Sleep in a lot. Like, if you don't have a final, be sleeping. That's all you gotta do. Sleep is the key to success.
Really don't worry about it too much. Obviously, it's a big portion of your grade, but if you freak out too much, you just can't do it, and then you'll end up getting a bad grade anyway.
I'm pretty excited to get them done and over with, and excited to go to my next classes.
It is your last chance to show the teachers everything you know and to take care of business, but it isn't the only thing that's going to make or break your grade.
If you prepare yourself all quarter and all semester, likelihood you should be okay with finals.
Good luck, and you're all going to do just fine.
No matter how you cope with stress, it's best to eat a good breakfast, sleep very well, and not to stress about it. For Sean Madden, this is Brendan Nault, and back to you in the studio.
I think that segment is very helpful during an eventful time like the end of a semester.
With the end of the semester comes scheduling for next year. This will take place all through February, and students have already started thinking about taking classes that they might want to do next year.
If you're a senior looking for an English credit option or just interested in a fun elective, you may want to consider taking Heroes of Literature with Miss Harrigan. Michaela and I talked to Miss Harrigan and some SHS students to see a little bit more about the class.
My name is Ms. Harrigan, and I teach Heroes in Literature, which is an elective. Generally, juniors and seniors take it, but it is offered to grades 10 and up.
I took Heroes Lit because I wanted another class with Ms. Harrigan. I had her for English 10, and the class was really great, and I love her teaching style. and I wanted to take another class with her. And Heroes of Lit was a really good class, and I'd heard from my friends that a lot of them liked it.
I took Heroes of Lit because I needed a class in the space, so I took it as an elective, not as like a required English course. And I don't know, I just thought it would be interesting. English is my favorite subject, and it has a lot of reading and writing.
I don't know when it started or who started it. I think Mr. Goyette might have, but I might be wrong about that. This is my 3rd year teaching it, and it's a quarter-long class, so I've taught it. 2, 4, 6, 8. I mean, this could be my 8th time teaching the class.
Miss Harrigan was a great teacher. She was super kind and supportive and helpful. I had a really good experience in the class because of her.
So Heroes in Lit is one of my favorite classes to teach, and we explore the hero's cycle. So what that is there's an archetypal cycle, when archetype is a pattern, that every hero follows in their journey. And a man named Joseph Campbell came up with this cycle, with this philosophy. And so the class is based around that cycle. And it's intriguing because almost all heroes, contemporary and classic, follow this cycle.
What I liked about Miss Harrigan's class is that she made almost everything we did like worthwhile. Nothing seemed like a waste of time. From Macbeth to To Kill a Mockingbird, everything was actually like interesting, even though it's just a book and it's not interesting. Miss Harrigan made it interesting for us.
We read an epic tale, an epic hero's tale. So we start with Beowulf. And then we progress through other types of hero, the anti-hero. We look at villains. We read 1 or 2 contemporary novels, depending on the pacing of the class.
My favorite part of the class was probably reading The Lovely Bones and doing the writing assignment we did on that.
It's work. It's a great elective to take, and it's interesting. We have a good time.
You learned a lot in the class, but it wasn't overwhelming. Miss Harrigan made the workload nice, and the class was easy to understand. We designed our own superhero, and that was really cool. It was our final.
I would recommend people to take this class because if you have a hard time in English, Miss Harrigan makes it easy.
I'd recommend taking this class because I learned a lot of things I didn't know, like the hero cycle and other things like that. And in studying certain books or stories, I could apply what I had learned to that, and I think it goes the same with a lot of literature where you can apply the hero cycle and some of that stuff to other works.
I would recommend it to others because you learn a lot. It's interesting, you watch a lot of good films, you read some stories, and Miss Harrigan's a great teacher.
I took that class and found it very informative. I hope you consider it during your scheduling.
I also took it and found it very rewarding. There was a lot of construction going on near the end of the building when Brooke and I took the course, but it was inconvenient, but it has certainly proved to be worthwhile.
May and I got to see the progress of some of this construction in the Performing Arts Center, which is scheduled to open soon. We talked to Ms. Collier and others involved about it and got a chance to tour the space and talk to Actors Guild about their upcoming performance in the new space. As Salem High gets ready to see the new updated version of our beloved school, our Performing Arts Center that many of us have been waiting for is almost ready for its grand opening. We were able to speak to Ms. Collier and a few others about what we should expect.
We are all excited at Salem High School for the opening of the Performing Arts Center. And there's so much finished work going on. Whenever new space comes online, it is so busy, and there's a lot of people. You can hear some hammering happening right now. But it's nice to see how much progress is being made. And it's funny, one of the job superintendent, Bill Conti, asked last week at what point should we take down the temporary partitions, and I told him not until you're ready to have staff and students go through there, because that's what happened with band and chorus. As soon as he took down temporary partitions, I told me students were in and out of there all day. So I think people are very excited. We've got a lot of big tasks When can we go in and see it?
I am super excited. I've actually been working here for about 2 months. I've been hanging out in the media lab with Scott and Bob, and so I'm really excited to get into my new space and have all of our tech gear to work with and everything. I'm really looking forward to it.
So some of the new features, we have an orchestra pit. That's our big thing. Our old auditorium did not have. A couple other things, we have dressing rooms in the back, male and female dressing rooms, and they have audio and video feeds, so anyone waiting to take the stage for a performance is able to see what's going on. If you remember in the past, you'd have to stand off stage and just watch it. Also, we have a scene shop, so we can build sets. If you recall, all our old sets were built in building trades. They were painted in the hallways between band and chorus, but now we have a scene shop where those can all be built and stored.
A lot of the planning was already done by the time I was hired, so the tech gear and everything was already in place. It's more my position of running and making sure that the equipment that's already been ordered is working properly and nothing gets broken and that kind of stuff.
So the grand opening for the Cypher Performing Arts Center is on January 28th at 1 o'clock. There will be some invited guests, people who have had a lot of input in getting this project passed and built. They're going to come in for some tours, but for any parents out there, students who want to come to course night on January 25th, we're hoping to have some tours up front and in here as well. But the school board will be doing a ribbon cutting. There'll be some speakers. We have Dominic Diorio, who is a graduate of Salem High School. He had a piece commissioned for both choral and instrumental performance at that, so it'll be the first time it's being heard by anyone. He'll direct it. We also have some actors from Cinderella. They'll be doing a piece, and the orchestra will be playing. So it's going to be a great ceremony. It will be really nice to kick off for such a beautiful facility, and having the community come into that grand opening is nice because they had such a role in getting this passed, and so we're happy to share it.
My job position is the technical director for the Cypher Performing Arts Center, and I have to be there every time there's an event in the facility, so whether a class wants to go in or there's an outside rental like a dance show or something, every time there's a musical I have to be there, organizing all of the tech stuff, running the lights and the sound, and some of our fly lines on stage move up and down, so making sure that's all safe. And making sure that everything runs smoothly during an event.
We also talked to the Director of Performing Arts for the district to see what he had to say about the new space.
I'm so very excited about the opening of the Performing Arts Center. It seems like it's a long-awaited big thing that's happening here, and with all the other renovations going on, to have this space open, we have the music and chorus rooms right now, and the MIDI lab that's just up and running, and to have this, it's just going to be like the final push for our Performing Arts Center. It's going to be fantastic. So there's a myriad of things that we are all looking forward to. I think, first of all, it's going to be our brand new home for performing arts, not just for Salem High School, but also for the Salem School District at large. Having all of our ensembles perform there is just going to bring an increased level of quality to our performance experience. And along with that, bringing in outside of school organizations, dance companies, theater troupes, things like that coming in and really celebrating the arts here in Salem. And I think that's what this facility really focuses on. It's a celebration of the arts, the sharing of making music, performing, theater. It's really, really wonderful. So I think it's going to become an icon, a really big resting point for our district to really celebrate the arts in.
With the opening of the new Performing Arts Center will come the first Actors Guild performance in the new space, the musical Cinderella. We talked to Mr. Bujold and some of the cast to see what they had to say about the opening and their upcoming performance.
I am very excited for the opening of the new Performing Arts Center. It's going to be amazing. We chose Cinderella to be the first production that we are performing in this space because it has a wide appeal. I wanted something that was family friendly, something that a ton of people could go and see. So that's why I just wanted to open up with a bang.
I'm really excited for the center to open up because
I am like also a performer and not just in tech. So when even if you're behind stage, just a brand new stage is super great to have.
It's going to be great to be in our own space. Last year we had to be at Methuen, and that came with a whole set of issues. So it'll be awesome to have a space that we can call our own and make our home from here until eternity.
I'm very excited for the new Performing Arts Center to open up. It's supposed to be very big and very cool and have some cool additions to it that the old theater didn't have.
I'm extremely excited. It's going to be like a new state-of-the-art facility, and like everything is brand new, all new technology and everything that we still have to learn about and everything. And we've been rehearsing down here for a few weeks now, trying to put together the show. Everything's like blocked out and everything. We're just waiting to get in there.
Very exciting that we have brand new technology that will be available to us, and we'll be able to do so many more things in this space that we weren't able to do in the old space. Like we can have backdrops that we can fly in and out, and set pieces that can fly in and out, and it's going to be awesome. We have an actual shop where we can build our sets. It's great. It's going to be amazing. Pretty exciting.
I don't know, I've never really done a production like this before, so I'm a little nervous, but I think now that we have a space to actually do it, we'll be able to do more and probably get the feel, like learn how it works more, so I'm excited.
How does it feel for a new space? It feels great because we can work a lot more, and mainly because the show doesn't include a lot of props. It just will make sure, like, it will just make the lighting and the sounding, like, great for the performance.
It feels great, actually, because we're like the first people to ever step up there and actually perform something, and it's going to be cool to have like alumni and stuff like that come back and see like this brand new theater.
I think we're starting next week, and then it goes on in February, I believe. And so we'll have that time to start with props and stuff and costumes, which is the main focus.
Like not too long, because we open in the middle of February, and we're not going to be in there till like a week or two from now. So we're only going to have really like 2 weeks in there to rehearse on the stage.
I've been in the space twice while it's under construction and seen some progress. So yes, it's been an experience.
Mostly moving props around to, like learning what we need to do, and we're again starting on props next week to get it moving.
Without the theater, we've been working down here in the temporary classrooms, trying to piece everything together, and we've been learning about the music aspect of it in Miss Python's room because she's the musical director of the show. And so we've really just been working down here and up in the music room.
As you can see, plenty of thought and hard work have gone into this new space. The new Performing Arts Center is sure to be a huge upgrade, and all of us here at SHS Today are looking forward to seeing the final product. That's all the update we have for today, Salem High. Back to you in the studio.
The Performing Arts Center looks absolutely beautiful. I can't wait for the grand opening and to see the upcoming play Cinderella. This is certainly going to get the school more involved in the community and vice versa.
This is sure to boost Salem pride, along with all of the other student activities and updated new spaces in the building. In fact, the boys' varsity basketball team has been having a good season so far, and they are full of Salem pride as the season continues, and one of their very own has the most team points in the state.
Devin and Ryan talked to the team and coaches about on-court performance, amongst other things as well. Let's take a look.
This week we decided to look deeper into the boys basketball team against Salem High School. We also interviewed a few of the players as well as the head coach, Mr. McLaughlin, to get the inside scoop on everything that's going on with the team so far. Let's take a look.
Season's going pretty good so far. We're 2-2. We've been playing pretty well. A couple games here and there we could have won. What we can improve on is just finishing out games, playing a full 32 minutes, and really playing as a team.
No, I think so far we've started pretty well. I think over the first 8 games, we're 4-4. We've been more successful on the back end of that than the front end. We're kind of taking care of business with the games that we should be taking care of business with, which is good to see. The energy and the effort and how hard the kids are playing has continued to pick up. as we've gone along, which is a great sign and going forward. I think as a coaching staff, we got to continue to be positive with the kids, really stress those fundamentals that will carry on through the season, and then obviously tweak a little bit of what we're doing to meet the needs of the teams we got coming up.
I feel pretty good about the season. I mean, we're only 4 games in, but once we improve on our rebounding, then I think that we could win a lot of games this year.
I think that we can really improve on our rebounding. Other teams have done a lot of offensive boards on us.
The seniors were great for us last year. I mean, they kept the team together with good team chemistry, and then we had Fee for rebounding, so losing him was a big deal for us.
Pretty good. I think the seniors from last year put a good foundation in place. They really did a good job leadership-wise with our younger guys. So those kids that returned really have taken a step or kind of learned a lesson from that group and are kind of starting to implement some of those skills and some of those methods that they use leadership-wise onto this group. And it's really starting to have an impact. Kids are really responding well.
It's been pretty tough because we did have a strong senior class last year, but we've been able to adapt well, and we have young kids that are ready to step up and improve their game.
We haven't taken it well. A lot of rebounding has hurt us a lot this year.
Yeah, that was a big momentum game. With that game tonight, it's our second home game, so we're looking to continue the home winning streak.
Oh, a ton. I think it was great, especially on the home court, where your crowd's there and the energy is up. Everybody's getting all excited, and it puts a good vibe for the kids when they come back to school. And that's kind of carried forward as we've gone from game to game. We followed that up with a tough one at Spalding, but played pretty well. And then came back and did the same thing Friday night when we played as well. We beat Trinity by probably 20, and I think that just shows that energy that home court really brings for us. Kids really get excited to play in front of their peers.
It gave us a lot of momentum. It really helps winning when your first home games. I always love beating Pinkerton because no one likes Pinkerton, and it'll really help us going forward.
Right now? Definitely gained a lot. Definitely feel that we can win every home game now, even against some good teams.
Griffin helps a lot. He's a huge help on the offense and defensive end. He's one of our captains. He's a good leader, and obviously we need a bucket. We can always count on him to go get it.
What plays? He's been a great asset. This is his 3rd year with us. His game's continued to improve, and he's become more confident in it. Last year he had a couple of injuries that kind of set him back a little bit, but he's really responded. He had a great off season, and he's really carried that into the fall, and that effort and stuff is really kind of rubbing off on some of the younger kids that we have as well.
I just wanted to get the crowd going so we could get the momentum back, because right before then they went on a little stretch, so it was nice to get the momentum back. Our team chemistry is already pretty solid. We're a good group of friends. We all like each other, so I'm not too worried about that. And on the court, we're just going to go out and be grinding every day in practice, and it's going to take us far.
We'll continue to do little things off the court and in the court. We're still in the weight room trying to, maintain some of our strength. And we're still, doing team dinners and keeping them together and keeping practices positive, really keeping that fun piece of it in there to kind of keep them energetic as it goes. It can kind of become a grind during the middle of the winter. So you could kind of inject a couple of those little things in there to really keep them going.
We try to do team dinners, which helps us off the court a lot to get some chemistry down.
Like Matt Carney said, we have team dinners before every game, so at team dinners we'll play video games, just kind of talk and play cards and stuff like that, so that helps a lot.
Not really. I kind of look at each year as a completely new group. Yeah, you have some guys that are back from the year before, but you're still trying to get that collective group to mesh, get them work together, get them to understand everything you're doing. So it's almost a yearly thing that we're looking to put together. And we use some of those same skills, some of those off-season stuff, really staying positive with them. But it's more of a challenge every year to kind of bring it together.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
The team is definitely looking to improve as the season goes on and is instilling Salem pride in all of us.
That's all the news we have for this week, Salem High. Thanks for watching. I'm Gianna.
And I'm Brooke. We'll see you next time, Salem High.